So far in my keyboard adventures, I've looked at the MPEC K70 coming in at $16, as well as the Gearhead 107-key Windows keyboard coming in at $5. But today, I've tried something a little bit different in my adventure in the world of cheap keyboards, this time directing my attention to the HCman 87-key keyboard, a 10-keyless keyboard that sports a multicolor backlight, as well as having knockoff Cherry MX Blue switches, all at the price of $28. But is it any good? Well, spoiler alert, it really is. But how does it compare to genuine mechanical keyboards that cost upwards of 4 times as much? That, I guess we'll find out. The only reason I bring up the unboxing experience is because I was genuinely surprised at how clean and professional it was. Far from the level of polish of Apple or Razer, but for a product in this price range, it was honestly surprising. But once it was out of the box, the next thing I was truly dying to know was, how would these knockoff switches feel? After using genuine Cherry MX Blue switches on my Razer Black Widow for years, eventually switching to a K65 for my writing keyboard with MX Speed switches, my bar was pretty high, but after clicking a few keys, I was quite impressed. So much so that I dug out my old Black Widow keyboard to compare them side by side to see what the differences actually were, which to my judgment were only slight differences in stability as well as how solid the keys felt. Meaning that as far as sound was concerned, these switches wouldn't be any better, sounding to my ears almost indistinguishable. Here, take a listen. As far as accuracy, this keyboard took no longer to get used to as it did for any other mechanical keyboard, feeling at home after about 30 minutes of use coming from a membrane keyboard, but if you're used to Cherry MX Blues then you should be able to catch on right away. The build of this keyboard hits nearly every box, with shockingly little flex and twist, even with the immensely satisfying to click open and close feet are up, as well as the, in my opinion, quite nice looking aluminum alloy front piece that houses a very clean HCman logo that doesn't feel out of place. Moving to the left, the keycaps themselves feel nice and are made from ABS plastic, and due to the see-through nature of backlit keys, are double-shot molded. The font on top of the keycap strikes an okay balance between professional and gamer, and is much better than the Corsair or Razer fonts in my opinion. As far as the secondary function text, it doesn't clutter up the keyboard too much, at least for my taste, and provides a clear direction to all of the backlight options, which are all controlled through the use of the function key. As far as the backlight itself, it is evenly lit and bright enough to clearly be seen in a well-lit room. I personally would have preferred a solid color as long as it wasn't red, but because of the price, the way it is now is perfectly fine. The lighting modes have a pretty good selection as well as customizability, all through relatively intuitive key combos. And with it all being controlled at a hardware level, it means that Mac and Linux users won't feel left out. I only wish that backlight off mode has been included, as the 4 levels of brightness do not include that, although spanning a pretty decent range, but I wish I didn't have to create a blank preset or unplug the keyboard altogether to turn off the lights. Bringing me to my conclusion. Can this keyboard compete with fully priced mechanical keyboards? Absolutely. In fact, I would go so far as to say that this keyboard is the only thing anyone really needs if they want a mechanical keyboard. And for $28, it is honestly a steal, with little features like hardware Windows key lock, making it feel like actual thought and care was put into the design of this keyboard, making me honestly regret my purchases of other mechanical keyboards just a little bit. And this keyboard has solidly earned its place as my new gaming keyboard, and although this keyboard is not perfect, for $28 it sure as hell is close.